A massive rescue mission to save hundreds of stranded whales has started in Tasmania this morning. About 270 pilot whales are stuck on sandbars or beaches in and around Macquarie Harbour on the state's west coast.
With the next outgoing tide not expected for 3 days, parks and wildlife staff will this morning try to coax a number of stronger animals back into deeper water in the hope that others will quickly follow. But it is a race against time, with officials saying 1/3 of the animals may have already died.
We've got animals spread over a large area and in a really challenging location. So we're going to basically take the animals with the best chance to start with, and the ones that we're able to deal with. So some animals may be simply too big or in an unsuitable location to actually deal with. So there'll be a little bit of triage involved. We'll probably take some animals from the most accessible location first, assess their behaviour, see what we're able to do with them, whether we can shift them in water or whether we're going to have to trial some other option. But yeah, it'll be a phased approach.
For more, let's bring in Chris Rowbottom in Hobart. Chris, good morning. Yes, that rather delicate operation about to unfold.
Yeah, it certainly is, and rescuers, about 60 of them, have already started basically a trial and error approach in a bid to try and get as many whales as they can back out to sea. A trial and error approach, of course, because there are so many, and they will be focusing on a small number to start with, deemed to have the best chance of survival. Their efforts will largely be focused at Macquarie Harbour, which is more easily accessible than the other locations, one of which is at Ocean Beach, where there are 2 smaller pods of whales in distress. But certainly some challenges being thrown up here for those involved in this operation, one of which is the tricky tidal conditions. We spoke earlier about the high tide coming through at about 11 o'clock this morning. That's all well and good, but it won't quite be enough. The strongest tide won't be expected for another 2 or 3 days. It's tricky weather conditions in that part of the state. It's a barometric tide, meaning it won't happen for a couple of days, giving the whales the best chance at getting out to sea. There's also some behavioural issues with the whales themselves as well. Whether or not they can get the whales back out to sea, and when they do, how they react to that. They're a social breed of whale. They react to cries of distress from the younger members of the herd. They might want to come back in and re-strand themselves. So that's just 2 of the challenges they're dealing with. We just saw Chris Carlyon there, the incident controller. He said it's the largest stranding of whales, at least for the past 12 years. He hasn't seen anything more than about 150 animals. This is in excess of 250. So there are factors at play here: 3 separate locations, a large pod of 200 and 2 smaller pods as well. So an incredibly difficult and complex operation coming up for these rescuers. And as we just heard, we understand that now that number of 25 deceased whales is now up to about 1/3 of the herd. So rescuers now working to save as many as they can, but baby steps for now, focusing on that small number, a trial and error approach, and certainly taking a triage approach as well in a bid to save those deemed to have the best chance of survival.
Let's hope it works. Chris Rowbottom in Hobart, thank you so much.